All right, okay. Thank you very much. That was me. Thank you very much, able moderator and our electable speakers so far. While we are waiting questions from the listeners, I have a question. And my question is for Stella George. You talked about building a team to lead in your entrepreneurial venture, and that's if you have the right team, you would succeed. So my question is for startups, people that are just starting their business and they don't really have the funds to get the right person for the job. How do they tackle that challenge? You're just starting out, you don't have required funds to get the right team. How do you handle or manage that challenge?
All right, so there are certain services that you can outsource, right, at the beginning of your entrepreneurship journey. There are certain services you can outsource. For instance, we're talking about having a team member that is very savvy with the internet, somebody that can ensure that you put your business out there for people to see and patronize you. Now, you don't have money to pay someone that will be with you for a long time, but you can get a service of someone that can either build you a landing page, a website, or manage your Facebook or Instagram accounts or LinkedIn, as the case may be. It depends on a contract basis, right? Because as an entrepreneur, you really want to scale. You don't just want to remain stagnant. So we're saying that you can start with what you have, start from where you are, and you move. Sometimes it could be in partnerships. You might have a friend that is willing to support you in the area that you need support. But it can also be you having something put together to say, I'm looking for someone that will help me build my business online. This is what I have. I'm sure you can get somebody that can take what you have to help you to start up from somewhere. You can also, if you have a family member that is not doing anything, maybe just finish youth service, you can try to invest in that person to be part of your business. So it all depends on the stage where you are, what you can do at that point in time. Do you want to partner? Do you want to outsource? Do you want a family or friend to support you? But the truth of the matter is that you can't do it alone. There are areas that you might be, you might have shortfall, and you need the support of another person to help you boost your business. So that is what I have to say for that. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for that response. It was really apt. I think it responded to my pain point. Okay, right. I have another question for Sadiq Mansour. So while doing this, know that if you have a question, just raise up your hand and we'll bring you up. You can respond to that. So, sir, you said something that also resonated with me. If you want to start a business, utilize data, analyze the data, know where the challenge is. If you're opening a business, launching a product or a service from a pain point, then you are better suited to maximize profits in that venture. So when you've identified this challenge, how do you network intentionally to build the necessary momentum to get go? That's to get to work. You've identified the challenge, you know that this is the challenge. Okay, this is what I need to get it to work. So how do you source for the sponsorship, the donors, the partners? How do you network effectively to get this done?
Thank you very much for that question. Yes, my response will be that if you already have a working, that is, you've been able to identify a gap, and you believe that, okay, this is a tested gap that you believe that is going to be able to help you. At least the gap is there in the community. So how do you get resources to ensure that? Sorry? Okay, how do you ensure that you get maybe buy-in from the investors? There are a few ways to go about it. One of the ways I mentioned earlier, and that is to join an association. You know, when you are a member of an association, there are these opportunities that are always shared in those organizations. Let me say, for example, like my own industry, the manufacturing sector that I mentioned, we have what we call the Nigerian Association of Small-Scale Industrialists. So association like that, government interface with them, and whenever they have any intervention, governments will go through these associations. But the thing is, you have to be active in this association. They should know you. I believe that could be one of the ways just for the resources. Another method that people use way is for you to maybe family and friends. There are family and friends that are out there that I believe that if what you have identified is something that is market ready and you are able to convince them. But the thing is, you have to start on yourself, on your own. You must have at least done some part of it. You must have been able to prove to them that truly this is something that is marketable out there. Nobody will want to hear something like that is marketable, that they will not want to invest their resources if they find out that it is something that has a lot of demand. So the second thing is, have your own personal income in terms of savings. And if you don't have savings, there are what we call, there is this platform they call internet marketing, where you get a commission base. But you need to learn all these things. It is a gradual process. It is not something that's a cast in stone, that you just, okay, maybe one method is what will give you the exact results. There are several methods that can really help you. Maybe you are not able to save enough, you can get people that can maybe key into the investors that can really help you to at least start particular product. Then other thing is, you could go into a commission base where you say, okay, I don't have resources for this thing, but this is something that is going. Can you put these particular resources? And if we are able to make this particular profit, you go on a sharing formula from the onset that, okay, we are running a program and you have the platform already. Can I come in to deliver this? And once you deliver such finish, you now say, okay, you take this particular commission, then I take this particular commission. So there are several ways, but the thing is, you have to look at the best situation for you so that you do not fall victim. And you should ensure that everything is properly penned down so that no one will cheat, take advantage of that particular entrepreneur. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that response. I see there are no questions. I don't see anybody raising their hands. And questions. No other question. It seemed the facilitators did so well that we don't have questions to ask, but I believe questions are we get clarification, and if we get clarification, communication is complete. So let's get contribution while we are waiting questions, or let's get contribution while we are not awaiting questions. I see Uluwakemi Darido, you've been on call all through. So questions or contribution before we take wrap up?
Okay, it's okay. Let's say question to Stella George, and it's about would she advise we build a team before having a mission statement, or you have the mission statement before working on hiring the right team? What would be the sequence that she would propose or suggest?
All right, can I go ahead and answer?
Yes, please go ahead, please.
Okay, so yes, it's always important that you have your vision and mission even before you bring your team on board, because if if you don't have a vision, what are you going to share with them when they come? You have to articulate your vision, very compelling one, that you are convinced of first before you begin to build your team. Now, you're going to build your team around your vision. They have to align to the vision that you have set for the organization, for the company, for the team. So it is important to articulate that vision. What do you see? Where do you see this company going? What are you going to be pursuing? It is based on that you will bring in a team, and when they come in, you share the vision with them, that this is what this company is all about. This is where we're going. This is what we want to do. Are you ready? Are you willing? Will you be committed enough to jump into this ship? Are you ready to buy into this vision? So it's important, whether you're in the service industry, you are buying and selling, you are a trainer, whatever you're doing that is a business, you need to have a vision for it before you bring in a team. Thank you very much.
All right, so thank you very much for that. If we have more questions, you can put it in the chat box. But for now, our time has been fast spent. We'll take a wrap up from both discussants, starting with Sadiq Mansour. In 1 minute, your wrap up. What's your call to action to anyone listening to this, watching this, or that will be watching this in the future as this is recorded? Over to you, sir, in 1 minute. Okay, so let's take a wrap up for Stella George before we come back to Mansour Sadiq. So in 1 minute, your call to action to anyone listening to this or that will be watching this in the nearest future.
Yes, thank you very much. I just like to say that leadership cuts across different spheres of life. Whether you're a leader at home, whether you're a leader in your business, in your church, anywhere you're leading, there are certain principles that will apply. The first is, what is your mission? What is your vision? Why do you want to lead the people? What impact do you want to make? What legacy do you want to leave? The same thing it is with entrepreneurship. You are going to be leading a team of people that will help you to serve your customers. The question is rather, why am I doing what I'm doing? What is the end goal? It is important that you articulate what the goal is, what the mission is, and how you will leave people better than you met them. Whether the business is for money, but there has to be the human face to whatever we're doing. So making impact is what leadership is all about. As entrepreneurs, please do not just focus on the gain you're going to make. Also pay attention to the impact, the way you're going to make your customers feel, the way you're going to make your team feel, the legacy you want to leave in the business, the legacy you want to leave in the world. It's very important as leaders. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. That was apt. Leadership is about impact, and in order for you to be a leader, you need to be ready to impact. So we'll come back to Sadiq Mansour, your call to action in 1 minute. If you're available to take that now, in 1 minute, your call to action. What do you want the listeners to take from all this? If you had to summarize everything in a minute, what would that be? Over to you, sir.
Sadiq is currently not, he's not available. Okay,
no, I'm here. I'm here now.
Okay, all right.
Okay, thank you. My call to action would be that we should pay attention more to data because we can make a lot of progress by using data, either as an entrepreneur or as a leader. With the right knowledge of data, you can be able to make up what we call data-driven decisions by looking at patterns of what has happened over the years. So pay attention to data. The data you post out there, they are data that, in fact, they said data is the new gold. So if you are either an entrepreneur or someone aspiring to be a world leader, ensure you pay attention to data, because with data, you'll be able to achieve so much more. I know understanding data can be sometimes difficult, but try to see how you can be somehow intentional to see how you can start making use of data in your decision-making process. That would be my last call.
All right. Thank you very much for
the data that people have generated. Try to pay attention to.
Sorry, can I make a contribution with a quote, basically?
Please go ahead. You're welcome back.
Okay, so I have this quote that resonated deeply with me, so I thought it would be nice to share with us. So, and it goes thus: if you know where you're going, your journey is short. If you know how to get there, your journey is shorter. If you know who has gotten there before you, your journey is shorter. But if you're willing to submit to who has gotten there by apprenticeship, and he or she is willing to take you on by mentorship, congratulations, you are there. So I present to you, all of us in the room today, Mr. Sodiq and Stella George. These are great people, amazing people who are setting the pace when it comes to leadership and entrepreneurship. If you need anything, feel free. I'm sure these are always going to be there to release their information based on what you need. These are strong materials you wouldn't just want to slip off your finger. Thank you very much.
All right. So thank you very much. I also love your call to action. I love the quotes that you gave us prior to the call to action. And there you have it, the discussion on leading with innovation and how you bridge entrepreneurship and leadership. We've had amazing conversation around this. The floor is open for one more question if we have any. I would like us to wrap up in 2 to 3 minutes. We're already at the close of this. So a link was shared on the chat box. This is for evaluation. Just feel free to click on it in 30 seconds to 1 minute. Give us evaluation. Let's know what we did well or what we can do to improve on our services. So that way we are growing. Thank you very much. Our booth discussants, if it's possible to see your face, let's just say hello. And we are at the end of this webinar for June. We'll see you in July. But before that, let's unmute. Everybody say hello. If you've not heard your voice, let's hear your voice. If you've not seen your face, let's see your face. Hello to you all. I see Worry Not. I'm not sure who that is. Do you mind unmuting to say hello? I see Ikemesit, more my personal person. Hello, it's good to have you on call. I see Olubumi Adewakun. This is a friend and a colleague from a cohort in coaching. You're welcome. So on the chat box, I see from Ikemesit, it was an insightful meeting with a lot of value added. Thank you to the erudite speakers, and of course, Rockstar Adeza. Thank you very much. I'm a rockstar. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for that feedback. It's heartwarming. Okay, let's have people on mute and say hello. I see Umil here. Abdul Karim, do you mind unmuting and saying hello, what you've learned from this in 30 seconds? Just share your insight, what you got, your take home, if I may say. Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So I was unable to join the meeting from the beginning, but from the little I've learned, so I've learned that it's necessary and important to pay attention to data like Mr. Sadiq said, paying attention to data can help us progress by making use of data-driven decisions. So whenever we want to make something work, we have to work with data.
All right, thank you. That was apt. Data is life. If you want to succeed, you need data. If you're working with the right data, your chances of failure is highly, highly reduced. Okay, I see Damu. Damu, do you mind unmuting and contributing in 30 seconds? I also see Onubumi. Onubumi, it would be nice to hear from you. Let's hear let's feel your energy through your voice, if I may say. Your contribution, question, feedback. Okay, Ikemes, please. Go ahead. You can.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful meeting. I'll just give a recap of all what I got from the meeting. I learned that leadership is impact, leadership is responsibility. Of course, I didn't join on time, so I got on with Mr. Sadiq, and I got to know you have structured data, you have unstructured data. That was an eye-opener. And I got to know that you could manage risk by using data to gather information and leverage on that to save time in taking informed decisions. That was very wonderful. I also got to know that you could build an effective team with ideas. That's from DTM Stella George. You don't have no leadership without a succession plan. You could articulate a vision. That is, you bring up a roadmap that could inspire others. You understand to understand where they are going, in a kind of putting out the vision right there on the table, and everybody could run with it. I also got to know that individual looking to transit, you could just start with your mindset, where you have, I got the 3 types: the quick reach, the eat up. This one, I'm really impacted because I'm a civil servant and partly investors. I think I have to go for lectures here. And I got to know that you could identify gaps and kind of the need, identify a need and meet it. That will result in manufacturing or maybe going into consultancy or any of those needs that you could identify. And got to know that you have to register with the regulatory authorities, and I would add, including FIRS. Then you have a good structure on ground. It was very, very insightful. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Ikemesit, thanks for that beautiful recap. Shows that you were quite on ground and you got value. So we'll take one more before we call it a wrap. If you would like to say something, just raise your hand and you can unmute to speak. Who haven't we heard from? We've heard from Kemi, or Ulua Kemi. All right, please feel free to unmute.
Thank you, Adeze. I would say it's been an amazing session. I've learned quite a lot, especially on the importance of joining an association, like DTM Sadiq mentioned. Also, I really took note of what Stella spoke about the need to have a team, because I realized that many startups, or let me say entrepreneurs, especially people who do not have a lot of resources, it takes, usually they handle almost everything on their own. You do the marketing on your own, you do the technical part on your own, the sales part on your own. And if you're not careful, you will remain subsistent. You will remain very, 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 very small. So it is important to always bring in people who have strengths that you do not have and who can easily complement what you have in order to quickly upscale your business and also to be able to, shall I say, escape certain rungs on the ladder. You don't have to be really small. You don't have to grow slowly. You can actually grow quickly if you have the right people on your team. So those are the two things that really stood out for me in the session. So thank you so much, the moderator, Stella George, and the team Sodiq.
All right, thank you very much for that feedback. We're glad you got value. Olubumi said data is the new goods. Pay attention to data. Yeah, that's very important. Okay, at this juncture, our time has been fast spent. We'll be closing the recording now, and the meeting is open for